This is our news, the weekend edition, and on the broadcast tonight, the Progressive Liberal Party's deputy leader blasts government over its lack of action in repairing storm-ravaged Ragged Island, and the Christian Council calls on the region to assist Haiti.
Our news is brought to you by Alive.
Good evening, I'm Andrew Knowles, and thanks so much for joining us. In 2017, Hurricane Irma tore through Ragged Island, prompting the Prime Minister to deem the island unlivable. Well, while he promised to rebuild that island, the MP for the storm-ravaged community is again criticizing the lack of action by the Minister administration. Our Julian Gray reports.
Ragged Island MP Chester Cooper again slammed the Minnis administration's handling of the hurricane-ravaged island.
I find it disgraceful that this government has completely ignored Ragged Island.
Cooper has previously lambasted the government for its lack of action in rebuilding the community. Ragged Island residents have also called on the government to act and replace the basic government facilities on the island. In 2017, after Hurricane Irma tore through the island, the Prime Minister promised to rebuild as a fully green island. Cooper said the Minnis administration is only using the island for sympathy.
They only talk about Ragged Island when they bring a resolution to the House to borrow $100 million. And they're trying to use Ragged Island and the hurricanes in Ragged Island to cause there to be sympathy for them to borrow more money to support their bad ideas. The reality of it is that they haven't done anything for the island, and really we are concerned about it.
Head of NEMA Captain Stephen Russell has said the island will only be deemed habitable after key government institutions are reinstated. He recently told our news that funds need to be allocated for the rebuild, as the plans are already there. The island's MP said his constituents are constantly wondering when their island will return to a state of normalcy.
The Ragged Islanders are calling me daily, asking me whether there's going to be school in September. There's still no nurse, still no doctor, still no police on the island. It's really a very tragic situation, and the government ought to be ashamed of themselves as to how they've treated the people of Ragged Island. It's appalling.
Reporting for Our News Weekend, I'm Jillian Gray.
All right, thanks a lot, Julian. Well, Bahamas Christian Council President Bishop Delton Fernander is calling on the Bahamas and other nations in the region to do more to help Haiti in getting its economy back on track.
We have to work together. I believe we have to stimulate a Caribbean economy. Yes, we have to look out for the Bahamas, but we have to look out also for the entire Caribbean as a one block.
Fernander says illegal immigration will only slow down when Haitians have a chance at a better life in their own country. He says increasing agricultural trade is one way to make that happen.
I have a little more knowledge than this because I represent an Israel-Caribbean coalition. What is being done through farming and through the other partnerships, we can find products in different islands that we can collaborate and work together to. So we might decide we will not grow that in the Bahamas, and we take all of that from Haiti. That stimulus helps them. And I know someone will say, well, that takes money out of our pot. But if we cannot grow it, or we do not grow it, and we import it, why not import it from one of our brothers and sisters rather than somebody who's applying pressure to our economy?
Haiti is the poorest country in the Western Hemisphere, and Haitians have been migrating to the Bahamas illegally for decades. The issue is not only old, but also controversial and a cause of significant tension in the country. Fernander insisted Haiti's current economic state is the result of economic slavery from first world countries.
The reason why it's happening is because systematically Caribbean nations have been challenged. First we're celebrating 400 years of the transatlantic slavery, but there's an economic slavery taking place that has destroyed Haiti's economy, destroyed Jamaica's economy, destroyed Barbados' economy, and now would appear the attack. And I just want us to pay attention to that. I think sometimes in our haste to down our own Caribbean brothers and sisters, we have to see the trend, have to watch what's happening. I know it's greater than people hopping on a boat and trying to get a better future, because that could be us if we're not very, very careful and notice what's going on in a trend around the Caribbean, and it's being done by a certain bloc that is really putting tremendous pressure on all of us as a Caribbean.
We will take our first break here, but still ahead tonight, the PLP's chairman speaks up for those Martin Salt workers. That story and more when our news, the weekend edition, returns.